Censorship is officially alive at the BBC. Chuck Ross does a fine job in reporting about it when it comes to touchy topics and issues such as climate change. What will be next? We should all be asking. And how far will this insanity approach overseas to the United States and around the globe? I, for one, will not be sharing any BBC news. Companies that take on such antics will surely be bound to losing more of its readerships and perhaps its reporting base. So let's check out what Chuck Ross has reported. BBC to cut airtime for climate change skeptics. Chuck Ross, reporter. It will soon become more difficult for climate change skeptics to disagree with the consensus view on programs aired by the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC. The BBC Trust, which is the BBC's governing body, published a new report, and there's a link for it, on Thursday that says that Britain's largest news organization has been giving undue attention to marginal opinion on certain controversial scientific issues, including man-made climate change. To combat what it calls a false balance on the issue, the Trust's report called for more BBC staffers to attend courses and seminars to help them learn how to bring their programming in line with what the BBC Trust accepts as the consensus view. According to the report, 200 senior BBC staffers have already attended the programming workshops, and it hopes to send more. The report reaffirms another published in 2012 in which genetics professor Steve Jones criticized the organization's over-rigid application of the editorial guidelines on impartiality in relation to science coverage. The coverage fails to take into account what Jones regards as the non-contentious nature of some stories and the need to avoid giving undue attention to marginal opinion, read the 2012 report, which noted that Jones cited man-made climate change as an example. This is a matter of training and ongoing shared editorial judgment, reads Thursday's report. In one of its previous seminars used to improve coverage of a report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, the Trust held a panel discussion involving 3 climate change scientists. It also allowed senior members of the IPCC, whose report the BBC would be covering, to brief the seminar attendees. But the IPCC, which operates under the control of the quote-unquote, I would say, United Nations, has met its own criticism. Richard Tol, a Dutch scientist, withdrew from a team of scientists in charge of writing the IPCC's most recent report on climate change because it was too alarmist. So I'll post the link to this article below this video, but this sounds more and more to me like Nazi activity and high censorship and control. Have a nice day.